Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Long and Thick podcast, where we help you navigate the noise and cut through the bullshit in the health and wellness space. Today, we are jumping into what we're calling our Mount Rushmore episode, going through a multitude of topics and giving our end-all be-all top 4 things in each one of these categories. If you've been sticking around with us for a while, you know that we now have a website, ltpodcast.com. If you'd love to support the podcast, we would be ever indebted to you. That can be done at patreon.com/the Long and Thick podcast, as well as we now have merch, shirts and hats, which is super, super exciting. So check that out as well. And we have a fantastic sponsor for the podcast, Mr. Jason Colley with his PTU 1.0 biomechanics course. PTU provides a structural lens through which trainers, coaches, and movement professionals can understand movement, biomechanics, assessment, and programming. See movement differently, coach with intent, and help more clients. Beyond that, we're going to get started with the Mount Rushmore episode.
Are you beginning?
I don't know. Are you beginning?
I will begin.
Have we just begun?
Guys, we're here.
We
thanks,
did it.
Thanks for being here.
We got through.
I like that. How the fuck are you? It's been a minute since we've done
just this. Yeah.
Yeah,
we've been blazing the trail with having a lot of guest interviews, which has been sick.
Mm-hmm.
I've been very, very delighted by all the people that we've gotten to know better and just hang out with. It's super, super cool.
Yes.
I'm good. At the time of recording, we just did our hottest ruck this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Heat was up to like 95. So
at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m.
10. Yeah, we were rucking by 9:30, and then by 10 it was pretty good. Even in the shade, I mean, you're just leaking sweat out of everything. And I'm not the sweatiest person, so that's a good indicator of just how humid it was.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Had some rad people, got some steps in, got some challenge, but definitely when you let that dust settle afterwards, I was at home. It's like, oh.
It's like when you're a kid and you go to the beach and you're like so fucking jazzed and zapped, like energized. And then you lay down and you're like, why am I moving? What's happening to me? And then the sun like reminds you the taxes that you owe it. And it's like, I'm going to bleed you dry right now.
It's time to collect, motherfucker.
Yeah. You're going to sleep for the next 3 weeks.
Definitely paid my share of the sun tax this morning, but it was great. How about you?
Yeah. I had some scheduling shenanigans, but I did make it over to our good Sir Davies.
You did?
Yeah, I
How
snuck
was
over
it?
there. It was cool. It was crazy. There was a line fucking out the wazoo. And I got there probably like 9:45 and it was like already around half of the building. And I was like, oh,
jeez.
Great. I ended up
cool for him.
Opting for, there was a milk brew that was like more ready to go for the takeout. And then I got some beans.
Cool. Draped in blue beans?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I got the bag that looked like it had the least of quantity because I was like, this is probably the most expensive one, but
sure. Going for the scarcity vibe.
Yeah, the mix on the flavors was cool, but yeah, he was fucking crushing it. He was grooving. I mean, the place was packed over at Matryoshka. Hearing people say that name in line, there's someone on the phone that was like, yeah, there's like 30 people deep here. We're at Mariatsky's, and I'm like, oh, no. Holy fuck, like this poor, lovely business that gets their name butchered. But in fairness, you know who I'm talking about, even if you say fucking Mariatsky, you're like, oh, I know exactly.
The one coffee shop in Nashville that has the weird M name.
Yes, yeah, you know where it is, you know what it is, yeah. So that was cool.
Yeah, I've heard Matryoshka, I've heard Matryoshka.
Yep.
I don't know which it is personally, but
as far as I understand, the name is Russian, and so it's like Matryoshka, like it's not like Matryoshka but. Maybe fuck me. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Twice. I have no idea.
Fuck us both, apparently.
Yeah. But was it also, if I understood correctly too, they closed all operations for Davey to do this.
Yeah.
Which is super cool on a local business collaborative sense.
That's the heart of fucking Nashville, is it not?
Yeah.
It just feels like the epitome of like, you know what? Yeah. Let's do this together.
Yeah, that is, you will not hear that very many places for a business, especially in today's world. Things are getting real tight, real lean. Inflation's eating us all alive. To be, hey, we're going to suspend all ops. Let you do your thing.
Yeah.
But he's an icon, so I'm super, super happy for him.
I know. We got to get him on here.
We do. I've talked to him.
Okay.
We've soft launched it. He's totally down.
Sick.
So,
I mean, he said that for well over a year. So it's just be on the lookout.
Yeah.
More,
for anyone
more
who
coffee.
isn't into coffee nerddom, just skip that episode, but we're going to have the time of our lives. So.
Yes. Yeah. Excited.
Hell yeah. So we are talking about what we're calling the Mount Rushmore's episode. Is our four-headed dragon of every one of our pillars that we're going to talk about today. And not that it's not redundant, but these are the simple things in life. These are things that we occupy on a day-to-day basis that has shaped our lives as we know it currently, and then also can shape other people's lives as well. Do we have all the things figured out? No. But this is just going to be our opinion and what we hold dear. And these 4 tenets in each one of these categories is what we personally align with, and it's got us the success in those areas that we've had so far.
Yeah.
However you want to slice it.
Yeah. Well described. I will have you kick us off with your tenets there, and the first core being general physical ed sort of preparedness.
For sure. And this, speaking of the ruck this morning, it's nice to have people from all different types of populations join those things, because some of these people, a ruck is a drop in the bucket. It's like, oh, well, there's a girl there who is a lifelong collegiate athlete. She is super active to the day.
Yeah.
And she's wearing a 35-pound pack, and she's just like, this could be nothing to her.
Yeah. And 100-degree weather. Yeah.
Right. But other people are like, man, like this is a bit, I added 10 pounds to this. I'm not used to walking. So my core tenet, this is a bit of a gloss over thing, which is just move.
Yeah.
Just be moving.
Yeah.
That is first and foremost. Now, I will always go on record as saying that, like, strength is my personal thing, but for everybody, you just need to be moving.
Yeah.
Up and down stairs, across town, whatever you can be doing. You don't have to be rucking, but just keep your body in motion. The body in motion wants to stay in motion, and you allowing yourself to get less and less movement will call the Reaper in faster and faster.
True.
Because your body's just going to get, it's like,
that's a good.
It's like, yo, hey, we're done here. Wrap it up. Check, please.
Yep.
So just moving, and that could be just as basic as staying on your feet.
Yeah.
Second would just be strength training. That is, I think, the best, other than breathing and moving, the best chance for you to lead the healthiest, longest life period.
Yeah.
So the data is conclusive. I think I'm its own personal endorsement that I don't feel like I look my age. And I will go on record and say, yes, I made a lot of positive health decisions, but not all of them. And there's plenty of liberties taken along the way where I could be optimizing sleep and diet better.
Sure.
But because I put all of my resources into the strength skill tree, it's given me probably the best advantage out of any other one.
Fattest ROI.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would be numero dos. To follow that up, even though I just said I vilified myself in the sense like I'm not the best when it comes to diet, because I'm not, but having a nutrition plan that aids in your fitness, because you could be really, really good at physical fitness and movements, but if you're eating like you're trying to lose a foot to diabetes, you're not getting all of the benefits of those decisions, those actions.
True.
So eating 70-80% whole foods, single ingredient items, you can mix and match all you want.
Yeah.
But keeping the processing to a minimum, keeping the frying to a minimum, the crazy saturated fats to a minimum, that's a good way to support those other things. You will move better, you will think clearer, and it will support your physical goals and your physical advancement with the lifting. And then beyond that, it is going to be sleep. I'm not the best at it. I'm never going to be the best at it. But if you cannot recover properly, you cannot actually have a physical output that you're seeing good results with.
Yeah.
And for most people, more sleep will be a benefit. And honestly, probably more sleep would be a benefit to me.
Sure.
I'm just not always the best at getting
although,
it.
you did have maybe an anecdotal awakening that when you were forcibly sleeping a little extra, you were like, got sick, didn't you?
Yeah. I don't know. This is something I kind of want to look into as far as the research. And I've had a couple other people have a similar thing that are I don't consider myself high strung, but I will usually find a way to occupy all my time with something. I'm not good at relaxing. I am not a constantly agitated person,
Mhm.
fidgety all the time,
Mhm.
but I just like to be doing something.
Mhm.
And I've talked to a couple other people that have the same thing where we're averaging like 5 hours of sleep a night. And then the one time we get the random 7 to 9 hours, we always wake up feeling worse.
There's you should get the whatever genetic testing done to see what your sleep need is. There's, I think, a fucking sliver of the population that has that gene variant that like 5 is good. Like
Yeah,
you're good.
maybe.
It could be. Or
Plus,
you
there's
just
also that,
fucking adapted to it
yeah,
after.
there's that also conspiracy theory that the 8 hour nights, even though it's like scientifically validated,
Sure.
that it was made by like a mattress company to sell more mattresses.
Oh,
Don't know how actually valid that is, but it gets thrown
interesting.
around a
I
little
haven't
bit.
heard that one, and I've
That,
heard many of those wild tales.
so, but that would be the fourth one.
Okay.
All right, general fitness for you. What does it look like?
Yeah, I think yours are excellent. My twist on it is not too different. I would say movement, I would call it like a variety of movement in particular. I think about folks getting older. You want to put yourself in situations that have enough of a demand where, let me reel it back a little bit. If you want to be able to squat really low, like into your 70s, you should do that very regularly.
Like the child squat pose.
Yes.
Just drop into it.
If you want to be able to like hang from shit, you should do that too. And I'm not talking about this in the lens of like strength training program necessarily. I'm talking about like daily snacks of exposure of like, get out of the car, fucking weird, like cross your legs and challenge yourself in that kind of way where you're sort of like playing around with how you're moving regularly. Walk backwards, walk sideways, to like be a little bit weird with how much you move and how much variety you open to your movement options. And that should give you quite a fat ROI as well in terms of just your coordination, your balance, all that kind of stuff.
Where do you feel like there's aging out of any of those things?
I mean, the stat I think is after 40, you never jump again. Like 90% of the population will never physically jump again. Like that's a great telltale of how we just become more and more isolated in how we think we should move, what feels appropriate for a 45-year-old to do, or like, that kind of stuff. Where I'm like, go fuck around, like play ball, throw a frisbee to yourself. Can you still catch that? Like that kind of stuff that I think people just don't do because they feel embarrassed. They feel socially it's unacceptable. They're shocked at how big the gap became from the time they were 17 doing shit all the time to like not, and then trying again. Because you remember that you can, but you don't know how to execute it in real time. And that's where you like tweak your ankle and your knee fucking explodes. And there's like a video of some guy who's like trying to do, I don't know, he's getting up off of the ground and his shins are on the ground. He's like kneeling and he's trying to maybe do like that's a crazy squeak in my tush. It's not my butt. It's the actual chair. If y'all are hearing that, you're welcome. He's trying to get up off the ground. He fucking like snaps his femur in half. Like, because he's probably remembering, oh yeah, like when I was a kid, I could just like pop up.
Yeah.
Well, it's been 23 years, pal. So
yeah, that's another thing that's worthy of note is that your body only keeps the things around that you demand. Like, so if you're not utilizing these things, it's going to take those abilities and those adaptations and those strengths around the joints. We don't need that. It's metabolically inefficient.
Yes.
Or it's also inefficient for the programming of your motor functions. Like if your brain's pattern recognition is like, okay, this is the thing that you're doing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's not jumping off the floor or jumping into a sprint randomly. Like you don't get that. And you have to slowly get it back or explode your bones like this guy clearly did.
Yes.
Do you feel, so deeper into that question, do you feel that there is an age that people should stop attempting?
No.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely not. As long as you can tactfully re-engage.
Sure.
Right. That's where our job comes into play. But no, I think I really am such a firm believer there's always some kind of workaround. I tend to whisper the impossibilities into people's lives. Not that I'm a miracle person, but more like our bodies are very miraculous, and the access to stuff that maybe science hasn't necessarily caught up with. I'm thinking about people I've worked with who have had like neuropathy for 10 years. And I'm like, is it possible technically for them to get some sensation back? Maybe. I'm that person that's like, maybe. Have you tried this? And they're like, no. I'm like, well,
let's just see.
Let's see.
What's the worst going to happen?
It stays the same. Great. Did we try? Okay, great. But more times than not, they're like, holy fuck, something is a little different. Placebo, whatever you have it. Again, that's, But all that to say, I say completely agree with the strength training. I just toss in some cardio demand in there. Structured week of heavy lifts, progressive overload scheme, and get your cardio in. Meet the general physical preparedness guidelines, surprisingly, that our government has.
80% of people can't do that.
Right. And so like if you start to get close to that, like great, we're really cooking with gas for sure. Food, super important. And you said sleep, but maybe I had a different idea and it has somehow escaped me as I got into
sleep more. Remember, it'd be better.
The wormhole of apparently I'm lacking. If it comes back to me, I'll call it out. But I don't remember maybe it was cardio instead of as its own bracket. But we'll call like heavy lifting and cardio as one piece. Dialed in food relatively 80% hitting the mark. As long as you're pushing hard on the other stuff, and then sleep.
So shifting gears, our next quad set of presidential busts, if you will. What is your Mount Rushmore of mental sharpness?
C.1 as I'm thinking about it, honestly. For sure, lifting. No joke. You have to keep the body cooking, right? The interplay between fluid movement and just how efficient our organs are is going to be so positively impacted by a robust machine meat suit.
We love a good meat mech, if you will.
Yeah. I got a Gundam on right now, pal.
Okay.
If you want a healthy brain, you have to keep the rest of your shit working. It has a huge metabolic demand.
Sure.
So again, food, are you eating, trash all the time? You're gonna have a mental collapse somewhere along the line. And then I would say the other pieces are very consistent, but not overdoing your exposure to like novelty and sucking at shit.
Sure.
Right. What's the thing that you've been like super interested in, but too proud to begin because you don't want to be bad at anything? You have to get over that thing and just be bad and have fun and enjoy the process and watch the thing change. You get like a very particular brain itch that I don't think can be replaced by any other type of stimulus when you're learning a new language, when you're trying to paint, when you are doing physical things that require a lot of demand, like juggling and things like that, right? Like all of those interplay. And then again, sorry, I don't have a better answer than this, is sleep, because your biggest like cancer cleansing cell time is in that sleep period. That's when memories get stored. That's when all the shit that you're trying to learn actually becomes like ingrained. So you want brain health, you have to have a strong body. You have to push your body. You have to have that good stress. You can't fuel like shit all the time. You can sometimes, AKA Japan. We're coming back for you, bitch. And novelty, learning, challenge, problem solving. Stop fucking AIing every single thing that you can for the sake of not thinking.
Yeah.
I get it. I do it sometimes, but I really am pretty picky with what I'm going to research with that. Yeah. What do you got in that list?
Very similar. I mean, the data and the cross-pollination is also conclusive that the harder you push your body, the harder discipline and more focus your brain can amass, which is awesome because it's something that you can do semi-mindlessly to get a lot of cognitive benefit from. It can help regulate your thoughts, your emotions. It can help your reflexes. It can make you mentally sharper just by pushing your body, which is a great one. I would say also the act of novelty, but also kind of leaning more into capacity as well. So it's with the advent of AI, we are not looking to even think for stuff anymore. We just will ask whatever. We're looking for maximum convenience, which
Mhm.
is shutting your machine farther and farther down.
Mhm.
So being able to not know something, just literally sit in thought and try to get your own answers quicker before you reach for something and build on that capacity.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes hand in hand with novelty. Like for me, just to make it practical, right now I'm learning to be better at chess,
Mm.
which is a nice little mind bender
Oh,
because
yeah.
it has tons and tons of algorithms that you can do.
Mhm.
And every game is different. And every single game I have played is different, but you get in these positions where you're like, damn. But
Now
it's
what?
now, yeah. And that when you first start playing it, you're just moving pieces.
Mhm.
And as your capacity grows and more experience is something, then you see, okay, well, now we're not just moving pieces. We can see what is happening later in the game. You can start seeing a couple moves ahead or several moves ahead.
Mhm.
Even more so as you get better and better. Not to say I'm all the way there yet, but if something you feel is confident and there's a blunder somewhere, is it the immediate thing you just did? Or sometimes you start to get the 30,000 foot view of like, oh, that thing I did 10 moves ago
Yeah.
is what screwed this whole thing
this?
up.
Yeah.
So just sitting there and building capacity in anything, which kind of goes in touch with novelty.
Sure.
And that's probably my Achilles heel is I always try to go for capacity. The minute something is on my plate and somewhat stable, I onboard something else,
Mm.
which is good for mental acuity,
Mhm.
maybe not necessarily overall quality of life balance.
Mm.
Different Mount Rushmore altogether.
Fair.
So yeah. So we said physical exertion,
Mhm.
novelty. I agree. Pushing capacity,
Yep.
and then also probably sleep.
Yeah.
I actually I will rescind that. I will say probably nutrition.
More than
Yeah,
than
more than
sleep.
sleep because I'm a testament to that. I don't think I have the best brain in the world. Definitely not the best sleep in the world, but I will see an absolute cognitive decline based on my eating habits, for or against.
Sure.
So if I am really dialed and I'm not having little deviations into raccoon world where I'm sucking down the treats en masse,
Yeah.
I definitely can focus more and, how I time my meals, what macro and macronutrients I'm doing when.
Mhm.
Like if I front load a bunch of carbs right off in the rip,
Yeah.
I might have a pop of energy in the morning,
Yeah.
but then that late morning, early afternoon lull, I'm like,
Dunkaroo
where's my
hits.
brain?
Yes.
So I think mental sharpness a lot can be manipulated with your diet.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Love it. Moving on, we're getting into emotional health. You want to begin us?
Sure. Yeah. And this is a very much a nuanced topic. And it's something that probably just needs more and more discourse as people, but as men.
Fuck yes.
So on the men's side, we are often conditioned not to even approach this subject.
Yeah.
So, and that's not saying poor us. It's just a lot of the culture on this side of the world. And we're pushed to produce and to manage and to just move on. Don't get lost in it. What's the point? You're a tool, you're an instrument, provide, do that.
Yep.
That's your role in things. So for emotional health, I would say in terms of that as a guy, just talk to someone. Whether that be friend, family, therapist, like you need to get the shit, the good, the bad, all the things out of your brain.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot going on upstairs, but we will brood on something and that will be all consuming and it will start to be malignant in other parts of your life if you don't get it out.
Yeah.
And we're taught to just sit on it and just that should be enough. We should be able to compartmentalize, but either write it down, but it's better you need to talk it out because you need someone to reflect with.
Yeah.
And that also, if we're keeping just in the men lane, I think the idea of brotherhood needs to return, but just community. We can say that at large. Having more and more people in your corner and your direct orbit that you get to just collide with and have energy exchange with and conversation. And some of that stuff is just so minute. You don't really realize the benefits as it's happening.
True.
But you're like, man, like something's better. Something's different.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit more upbeat. And I have people on the rucks all the time. They're like, man, it's just nice to meet people.
Yeah.
And I had a gentleman even this morning. He's like, I really appreciate this. He's like, because sure, I see people at the gym, but this is one extra added layer of me being forced to communicate with people.
Yeah.
And it's all great. All these, like, I would just be reading at home probably till I die.
Yeah.
And like, that was it.
Fuck.
So I was like, damn, well,
That's heavy.
it is. And I'm like, I'm honored to have a piece in moving him in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah, community for your emotional health is absolutely paramount. Having a suitable mate. We're not made to be, truly alone.
Sure.
And even if you're like, oh, I'm a loner, I like to isolate, I'm an agoraphobe, whatever, like, everyone can think back, even if they're not in a romantic period now, they can look back to something that was successful and that was a better part of their life.
Sure.
And that should just be right up rip, like have a love interest, a romance. You could have a hetero life mate even too.
Sure.
Like someone that is, whether it be the opposite sex or however you align, is just there. And having a soul bound thing with someone, you're missing an entire piece of the pie if you don't have that.
That's very real.
So that's 3.
Yep. You can zoom out too if it's helpful I think it's easy for us to think the man side of it, but as human beings, is there other pieces to emotional health that.
Yeah. And honestly, just having a creative outlet. Having a piece that you can expound on for yourself and we've had this in previous podcasts, that if you can monetize it, great.
Sure.
But you just need to be able to bear your soul into something creative.
Yeah.
Build something or just release something for hopefully someone else to enjoy.
Yeah.
And some people will never let it go. And if they do have a creative itch, sometimes they're too sheepish and they want to perfect it, or they don't really have the confidence that whatever they're producing might not be cringy or good enough or accepted by their peers, their family, their friends, their loved ones, whatever. But have a creative outlet, because it does something that sometimes is unquantifiable, that you're like, man, like I made that.
Yeah.
It might be shitty now.
Sure.
But there is something that when you create something, when you bear something from your soul, there's a for sure emotional uptick to that.
Yeah. The vulnerability of it, that whole process. It's a lot of these things too are like tragic when somebody doesn't have a experience with any of these. Like you got me thinking about how, there's plenty of people who identify and say like, probably just like marriage isn't for me or whatever. And that's fine. Like, but to have never had any kind of exchange like that is just wild to imagine. Right.
Yeah. So talking to someone to clear your head, having community or brotherhood, having a companion, and then having a creative outlet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree across the board. I think I feel very fortunate. I have 4 older sisters, and the one closest to me is a therapist and has had an interest in that kind of space for quite some time, and always pushed at sharing. And being around much more women than men earlier in life, A, I'm very sensitive. B, I learned, fortunately, early enough that like expression was like such a unique release. And it was fucking scary and terrifying the first time that you like opened some part of you up. You don't have to share every inch of your soul with somebody that you're sharing something with. But a good example, like, Daniel and I were talking about something that was affecting me pretty profoundly. And I had no issue telling you, and right, like having a trusted person and multiple people that you can share things with to get their insights, get their thoughts, hear different perspectives. Like emotional health to me is like a personal pond in your brain. And if the water doesn't get mixed up enough and the air doesn't come in and the sun doesn't shine and all those things represent like other people's thoughts and perspectives and books that you read and things, like you have to sort of stir it up. Otherwise it gets fucking foggy and shitty and mossy and nasty. So, people first, I would say, trusted people that love you, care about you without a need for something. There's not a trade happening, right? It's just a matter of human exchange.
Yeah. Not to interject, but yeah, that's a great point too, is not having quid pro quo all the time. We have, at least in Western culture, everything is so transactional between time and reward and exchange. It's just like, do something for nothing a lot.
Yes.
Be generous with your attention. Be generous with your time within reason.
But
stop expecting shit.
Right.
Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Great call out for sure. That's a piece of it too. Yeah. I think the creative piece is really punchy too. It's the side of sharing things that are in your heart, in your mind, and your spirit that like you don't really have the words to say. Sometimes I think of like, as crazy as some of the videos are of people like going out in the woods and they're like, all right, guys, we're going to fucking scream at the ground and just like cry and whatever. Like more people need to do that probably. Have this like insane cathartic, like
full release
tantrum. Right. And then go, holy shit, that was crazy. But if you can sort of hone in on some of what is happening for you cognitively, emotionally, physically, and then find something like music, right? Like has a way of like you hit a line in a song playing, right? And you're just like, holy fuck, I'm like wielding the fucking power of God, right? Like hitting a note and you're just like hearing insane vibrations and feeling the roar of a place. Like that kind of shit is what makes you go, God damn, I'm happy I'm alive. I don't just want to die.
Right.
And it reminds you of that. Honestly, physical pushing. Like I had this thought talking to somebody about suicide, and I was like, I wonder if there was a protocol put in place where you got somebody who was feeling very like in that dark space to run until they physically couldn't. If the shift in realizing that they're tired and that they want to stop makes them go, oh, I don't actually want to like die. I actually want to feel better than the pain that I'm feeling in this exercise, right? Like as almost like a trick. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
no.
I don't know that it's ever
reframe.
been, wait a second, I don't want to die. I just went on the rower and like, I feel like I'm going to cough out blood. I would like to not feel this way. That's proof to myself that I like care about me. Right. And man,
by no means am I marginalizing or bringing any sort of true humor to that plight in anyone's life. However, it's just like, how do you even suggest that? In the sense, like, it's like, all right, it's like almost like a Jedi mind trick. It's like, listen, I'll let you out. If you really want to go, you have to do it by either running or rowing. And then they do it to try to get to the very bitter end. Like, fuck, actually, fine, dude, I don't want to do that.
Can I have some water and some grapes? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the person that's fucking depressed in bed, you're like, I got something for you.
Yeah.
We're going to run as fast as you can.
I just threaten them, I'm going to tase you if you don't just
that's like sort of what I'm envisioning is like some kind of horrible, like
jackass level stunt.
Yes. Or, what's the movie with the fucking Katniss, The Hunger Games, where they're like, all right, you're going to get hunted then.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit, never mind. I don't want to do this anymore. You win. I change my mind.
That's funny. But yeah, that's, okay. So in summary,
yes,
emotional health. So talking, confidant, creative
outlet, physical intensity, experience.
And what's number 4?
I think maybe in my mind, I couple the talking with like community, but like a greater than yourself value, a thing that you can give yourself to in some way, shape, or form. I think we're really lucky because it's like our work. It happens to overlap for us. We get a lot of like fulfillment from what we get to help people with.
Sure.
But
not everyone can say that though.
I know.
Everyone has a client facing business where you're trying to help something directly or someone directly.
Right.
So if you're not in that line of work, it's doubly important
to have
because you're at a larger deficit.
Yeah.
If you're sitting in a cubicle, no disrespect, honorable profession.
Totally.
But you might not, the community might not be the water cooler. It might not be your just busted team building exercise over pizza. You might need to find a different community and really enrich your life that way.
Yes, perfectly said. So yeah, that would be my.
All right, this one I shaped to you. I probably wouldn't have as much of a nuanced answer, but we talked about the physical fitness side of things, and being able to move as well as we age. I don't think very many people truly have the foresight to look that deep into their years and be like, how am I going to move when I'm 60 or 70?
Yeah.
We're so head down in the grind, understandably so, but we need to keep our head up above the tall grass a little bit and be like, okay, what happens when we get to the fence line of our life? And we're moving like a scarecrow if we're going to keep the whole farm analogy going. So
drive that tractor and tell me what's next.
So mobility and movement. What's the Mount Rushmore? What's the long play for you as a movement and mobility specialist, as it were?
Yeah.
What do we look at?
It really is a combo of the first two categories that we got through, like general physical expression and education and like brain health, arguably more brain health than the physical side from just like the neuro perspective. So my number one answer from the first section still holds pretty true. Variability, exploratory movement for as long and as safely as you can do that is going to be the way to paint the map as clearly as you can well into your years. We've used this analogy many times, the fucking Google map car driving around plotting out the earth. If you never go down that side alley, you don't even know it exists, but that side alley is actually called shoulder extension or wrist flexion or big toe, great toe movement, right? Like you need to really explore movement, which is why like shit like games and things that are less calculated tend to give you a broader brush stroke than just like a bench press where there's maybe a little bit more particular like form and you're trying to occupy a certain position. Here it's like, yo, go catch that. Okay, holy shit. Like what you're just like twisting, turning your head, looking around, like making sense of your environment, all that kind of stuff. So that for sure, number one. Number two, I would say as you age, you have to honor the check engine light. And I'm not like a, oh no, you hood kind of person. It's more like things like scars, things like concussions, things like changes in your hearing, your changes in your dentistry and your teeth and the way you breathe. There's so many little things that can happen that will make that first tier really fucking hard if you don't get it dialed soon. And the more little shit things you collect, the harder it's going to be to peel back. So if you had 5 surgeries and you did PT, but like you never truly integrated, you have an uphill battle. Like I work with it. I know it's really fucking hard and daunting and exhausting to go through. I think, dealing with stuff as soon as it happens is a way to bulletproof yourself, optimize for the future so that you have many variable movement options.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know that I even
need 4
have
things.
4. I think that's it. Yeah. Between the other stuff that we talked about, like, the biggest call out is explore movement in many different planes. And then if you have shit that you have not like gotten taken care of or checked on, and you have some kind of thought in the back of your mind, like, my knee has never been the same since. That's what I'm talking about. That thing that like, oh yeah, but that's just how it is. Like, well, maybe not. And probably not is the answer. You can probably have a better ankle than you do right now or a better whatever. So don't just stay in that lane because there's a lot more for you behind that kind of stuff. What do you have I know you have some insights on.
I do. So I'm going to take it on a more practical level. Not there's anything wrong with that, but sometimes that might be too daunting for people. So
Sure.
like, I need to move everything all the time, all over the place.
Yeah.
Thing.
Real.
Which yes, you should. That is it. That is, if you want to feel your absolute best, you need to do all the movements as close to as often as you can.
Sure.
All the time. You know, your articular rotations and all of your joints, and a little bit of like passive and active tension in places. And so in shaping mine to things that probably I see the most with my clients or friends and family, like, oh, I always have this problem. Well, a lot of office goers, digital nomads, all that kind of stuff, I would say hips and shoulders are always the problem. So things for me and my little Mount Rushmore is for mobility and movement, you have to keep your hip flexors, your glute medius, and your low back as least tight as possible. Because you're just, you sitting here doing nothing, that shit shortens and you start to adopt weird little, excuse me, what's my postural? There we go. Postural patterns. And then they still start to shorten because you don't move. And then you're kind of impacted in that way. And then when you try to do a more natural movement thing, like, why are my hips cranky or my low back is pissed or I have a knee problem that just came out of nowhere. So if you've ever listened to this podcast, you should know that we talk often about any joint pain is never the joint's fault. It's very rarely. It's not never, but it is very rarely ever the joint in pain's fault.
Right.
So the low back and the hips can mess up a lot of things below the body. And then, so that's number one, just make sure your hips and your low back have a good amount of stretchability to them. Number two would be hang from something.
Get just some decompression.
Decompression in the spine, but also pull out the shoulders a bit. My third one would probably be stretch your pecs. Because everyone has the shrimp thing, working at a desk or a computer or even just like doing things on their phone. Again, your pecs the connectivity starts to shorten, and then that is your distorted little posture. I'm like eating this microphone right now.
It's in your cleavage.
And then lastly, mobility under load. So all of the things that you're doing, adding a resistance facet to compound what you're doing. Because a lot of times, if you're really immobile, you do need a little extra push safely. But if you're doing like a squat and you just can't get down there, some of that might need a little extra load to change or have your something like a resistance band on your ankle to help with ankle immobility. But generally, most of your stretching, whether it be with a band or weights, you can add to your flexibility with a little bit of load that way. So that would be my four. No,
it's great. Yeah, good call out on that. It's loading. Treat your mobility training like strength training. Last up.
So let's talk about your Mount Rushmore of feeling successful, or conversely, just feeling like you have a rewarding lifestyle.
I think the top tier thing comes back to knowing that in some way, shape, or form, part of my existence on this planet helps other people personally. In some capacity, I opted for the physical health route with that. But I think a lot of folks can get that same kind of fulfillment from being a financial advisor, helping people get out of debt, or, you could spin the story in any way, shape, or form and argue that you help people. I mean, we did an interview the other day where someone said they're very passionate about smiling and making sure that they greet people. Like that can be what feels like a successful day if you're like spreading that, which I think is beautiful. Shout out to
Shira, because she is like the nicest, most supportive person to anyone in her orbit on Earth.
I'm thrown off by our timeline because I'm like, wait, am I revealing something that shouldn't be revealed? But
I think not.
Okay. Either way, Shira, you're coming on. Yeah, it was Shira, surprise, but I don't know.
Maybe.
I wasn't trying to be weird about it.
No.
That's why.
We're not cagey with our sequencing by any means. But who he's talking about is Shira Clenard. She may have already aired. She may be coming up.
By the time, So anyway, thanks for being here on that. Riding, get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Right. Helping people.
Helping people, making sure that I don't compromise myself in the process, both physically or emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
making sure that I have my morals upheld. Honestly, I've done quite a bit of work to not reform them, but really change like how I view things in life. And so now if I
Is it a callback to your reform from being an organized crime boss?
yes, exactly. Yeah. My deep dreams to hurt and harm people and cause chaos have been shifted 180. And so now I really like try to uphold the opposite of that. And if I do something or affect somebody in a way that feels like that is not what's happening, it fucks me up, right? And so making sure that I live above reproach, as some
Mm-hmm.
would say, is a means of a view of a successful life in my eye. That's two things. Having true family, whether it be chosen family and friends and that type of community, or your actual family that you're very close with, and community that is like has your back, that you feel like you're a part of without needing to offer something, exchange something, is another metric for a successful life, in my opinion. And little foreshadowing, but I would say tentpole moments where I've changed.
Okay.
And I can look back at the book of my life and say, oh yeah, I am always growing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sign of a successful life, in my opinion. Yeah. What you got?
I too would agree on a fair amount of that, in the sense of whether it just be in the lens of I am doing something to help people, or I feel like your chosen path, like what you're destined to do, needs to be in the service of others.
Mm-hmm.
And finding that, which I believe we have.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can't necessarily say the same thing yet.
Yeah.
They're not as fulfilled with what they're doing.
True.
And that doesn't mean you have to necessarily be helping people with whatever your gift should be.
Right.
However, I think for me, the success is being able to now confidently say, like, I'm doing what I should be doing. And I'm also thankful that is in the service of helping other people.
Yeah.
So that is success. Also, always pushing myself to learn and grow, and as long as I have breath in my body. I don't like stagnation.
Yeah.
I like onboarding new skills and hobbies. Like, I want to be as well-rounded as I can. So always pushing myself to be a better version, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, even technically. So there's plenty of we've talked about this before, where I feel like there is deficits in my advancement or my development from just being a musician and not really focusing on myself, just focusing on the experience. So I feel like I'm making up for lost time in that, but it's definitely something that I feel better about my long-term success as a person in this life, trying to shore up a lot of those gaps and be as well-rounded of a human as possible, and not just some creative blasting away chords on a stage somewhere.
It's like curse.
Yeah. I think for me too, also just having a family and or community that is just cultivated for how do I say this, is cultivated for everybody's benefit in a way, because everyone can have people around them, but I've been lucky in my life to then start either finding or inviting people into my life that are giving so much more than they're taking. And I want to be that same person.
Sure.
And I think that's very infectious. I think that's very rewarding. And I think that's very successful feeling along the way.
Yeah.
And then I want to be, for me, my own personal one, not necessarily a financial one, but I want to be as well traveled as possible.
Yeah.
I want to see and experience as much cultural exchange on this planet that I can in the years that they'll allow me to do so. The most valuable, we've talked about before, like the third most valuable thing other than creative pursuits and being physically fitter. The third most transformative thing for me has been travel.
True. Fuck. I'm surprised we didn't even say that in the other stuff. I guess
so. That's and it could definitely be a shoe-in option
on all of them. Yeah.
But travel has been the one thing that if I can continue to do that, I think that will make me feel that I've had a successful life. And
yeah,
I'm just continuing to manifest my little bucket list, because by 50, I want 50 states, 7 continents, and 100 countries.
It's going to happen.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's more than doable. So
fuck yeah.
But yeah, I think that is a good, well-rounded Mount Rushmoring, if you will.
Yeah. Love it.
So appreciate all y'all being around. We'll break the fourth wall real quick. It doesn't happen very often.
I never know which one to look at now. I found you. I see you.
But yeah, thanks for being around. Check out merch. Again, we have a limited 1 drop of shirts and hats.
Yep.
We always love commentary, feedback on the episodes. Check out the websites, share and invite your friends, talk shit a little bit on the comment section. We love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, till next time on The Long and Thick.
Toodaloo. Bye.